Hello everyone, this is Don with MecSoft Support. I wanted to take a moment to give you a brief quick start video on using VisualCAM 2017's new feature-based machining capability. So what we have here is VisualCAM 2017 loaded. Let's go ahead and open the part model for this video. Go to the quick start tutorial. You should see a part called Feature Machining Quick Start. We'll load that. So what we have here is, let's go ahead and turn off the grid so we can see this a little bit better. We have a part, a 3D solid part. Now, nothing really special about this part other than it has to be a polysurface, closed polysurface or a solid model in order to extract the features. And we have a 2 and 3 axis part here with a lot of different features on it. Let's just take a look at them real quick. We have some closed pockets, a open pocket. We have some slot features, a closed slot, a angular through slot, and then a pocket slot over here. These two go all the way through. This one does not. And we also have a protrusion here, a boss, and we have a couple of hole patterns. We have a smaller hole pattern here and a larger hole pattern in the middle. And this feature on the back is a 3-axis pocket feature. It's 3-axis because it has a contoured drafted surface and a fillet at the bottom, which you need 3-axis machining to complete that. Okay, let's go ahead and show you how easy it is to extract all the features from this part and program it for machining. So we'll go down here to the Machining Objects browser and pick the Features tab, and we'll select the Create Machining Features icon, and it's going to prompt you to select the flat area to detect features. What we're going to do is we're going to select this top face of the part and right click, and VisualCAM will detect all the features it can from the part. Let's drag this up a little bit so we can see what we got here. We've got a whole list of features here that VisualCAM detected, and we'll review them real quick. We have the orientation, which is all these features can be machined from this one orientation. And then we have the planar face. We have the prismatic pockets. There's the closed pocket and the open pocket. We have the slot features detected. And we have the 3-axis pocket detected here in the back. Then we also have our boss. And we have our larger hole feature in the back, and then also our feature pattern, through hole feature pattern in the back. Let's go ahead and show you how easy it is to create toolpaths for these machining features once they're extracted. So let's go ahead and we'll go over to the Tools tab and see that we have a number of tools already loaded with the part. One thing I do want to mention here is that we're going to be doing a lot of things that we're not going to cover in detail, such as setting up your part, creating a tool. Those are covered in other quick start videos for VisualCAM 2017. So I recommend you look at those ahead of time for more detail. So we'll go back over to the Features tab. To create an operation from a feature, you simply select the feature, right click on it, and select the operation you want. We're going to do a facing operation. So here's our feature that's selected. We'll go ahead and pick a tool. We'll use a 1/2-inch flat mill. Feeds and speeds, we'll load those from the tool. All these are simply default settings that I have stored with these operations. So you can change these settings or use the default settings that come with this particular part. So we have clearance plane. We set that to automatic, and for roughing, everything looks good. Let's do a 40% step over. Cut levels. Now, the feature information that VisualCAM extracts, it understands not only the XY extents of the feature, but it understands the depths of the feature. So here it tells you that needs a rough depth per cut of 1/4 inch. We'll go ahead and accept that and pick generate. So show you the feature here. There's our facing operation for this top part. Now what we'll do next is we'll go ahead and machine our pockets. So we have a open prismatic pocket here. Let's go ahead and right click on that and we'll do a facing operation. And there's our pocket feature. For the tool, we'll use the same 1/2 inch flat mill. Everything else should pretty much be the same. Let's generate. So here's our tool path for the open pocket using a facing operation. Let's go down here and do our second pocket, which is a closed pocket, prismatic pocket. We'll go ahead and right click on that and we'll select pocketing. There's our pocket feature. With a tool, we'll use a smaller 3/8 inch flat mill for this pocket. And everything else for the cut depths, we have a minimum depth of 1/2 inch and the rough depth per cut is 1/4 inch, so we should have 2 levels. Let's go ahead and generate that. There's our pocketing tool path. Now for our slots, we're going to do these all in one operation. So we have a through slot, an angled through slot, and a blind slot over here. So we'll select our slots, right click and pick slotting. So VisualCAM 2017 has a new slotting tool path. So we have our features selected here with the tool. This is a 1/2 inch slot, so we'll use our 1/2 inch end mill. And for the slot parameters, everything looks good. So for the cut levels, it tells you you need a minimum depth of 1/4 inch. That's the minimum depth of this smaller blind pocket here. So we'll leave that set as a rough depth per cut as 1/4 inch and pick generate. So you can see here we've got the through slot here, we've got a through slot there, and then we got our blind slot there. We're going to simulate these all at the end here in just a moment. So we've got our 3-axis pocket here on the back. Let's go ahead and create some 3-axis operations for it. We'll go ahead first, right click, and we'll see all of our 3-axis operations to choose from. Let's do a horizontal roughing operation first. There's our feature. For a tool, we'll go ahead and use the 3/8 inch flat mill. For the cut levels, that all looks pretty good. We got the clear flats option checked, so it's going to clear the bottom area. Let's generate that. So there's our roughing operation. And let's go ahead and create the finishing. Right click on the feature, and we'll do this with a parallel finishing operation. There's our feature. For this tool, we'll go ahead and use the 1/4 inch ball mill. For the cut parameters, we'll leave that angle set to 0, 10% step over. Let's go ahead and set that to 5%, get a real nice finish on that. Entry and exit, everything looks pretty good. Let's generate. So there's our really nice parallel finishing operation on that 3-axis feature. Now let's go ahead and work our way down here. We can collapse these as we do them. So we got our slots done, 3-axis pocket done. Let's go ahead and do our boss. And for the boss, we'll use a profiling operation. There's our feature. For this tool, we'll go ahead and we can use the 3/8 inch flat mill. And for the cut levels, it's a 1/4 inch depth, and we're going to rough it to a 1/8 inch level, so there'll be 2 levels. Let's go ahead and pick generate. There's our profiling operation for that feature. And let's go ahead and do our holes. So we got a larger hole in the back. Let's use a hole pocketing operation for that. So we'll right click, select hole pocketing. There's a cross section of our hole. For the tool, we'll use a 1/2 inch flat mill. And for the cut parameters, everything looks good. Let's go ahead and generate that. And there's our hole pocketing operation for our larger hole. Let's go ahead and do our smaller hole pattern. We're going to do these all at once. So we'll right click, and for this we'll do a drilling operation. There's our cross section of the part of the hole feature. For this, we'll use our 1/4 inch drill. Let's go over the cut parameters. We're going to use a deep drill. Here's our drill depth that's needed. That's 3/4 inch. So all this information is extracted from this part. And as you noticed so far, we haven't had any need to select any geometry from the part so far to machine these features. So we're going to do a step increment of 1/8 of an inch and pick generate. So there's our hole pocketing, our drilling operation for the hole features. Now, let's go ahead, and now that we got everything programmed, you see that we've created all these operations directly from the hole feature, from the machining features that were extracted from this part. Very quick, save a lot of time. This is the future of machining with MecSoft VisualCAM, and this is a large step forward in this release for extracting all these features and being able to machine these very quickly. So let's go ahead and do a simulation. We'll start with the facing operation. Let's speed that up a little bit. So there's our facing operation. Let's go ahead and do the second facing operation. There's that pocket feature. We'll do our pocketing operation. There's our second pocket. Then we'll do our 2.5 axis slotting operation. Let's slow this down a little bit. There's our 3 slots all in one operation. Let's go ahead and do our 3-axis feature on the back. We'll do our roughing operation. Speed that up just a little bit. There's our roughing operation for the 3-axis feature. We'll do our parallel finishing. There's our 3-axis parallel finishing on that 3-axis feature, hole pocket feature on the back. We'll go ahead and do our profiling operation. We'll slow it down for this. Clean up that protrusion. We'll do our hole pocketing operation. Let's go ahead and step through that so you can see that a little bit slower. Nice hole pocketing operation there. Do our drilling. Our deep drilling, it shows the peck increments. Let's go ahead and speed that up a little bit. And if you noticed on the deep drilling operation, we have sorting selected, so it does it in a minimum distance sort. Now that we have all of our machining operations completed, let's go ahead and get a little bit of information about what we've done here. So we'll go ahead and select Setup and get information. And it lists all of the operations that we've created, estimated machining time. As you can see, it took us a lot less time to program this part than it is going to machine it. Just almost an hour to machine this part, and I think it's taken us about 10 to 15 minutes to program all of these machining features. So let's we can do a setup sheet. We'll go ahead and pick setup, right click and pick shop documentation. We'll go ahead and select select template 2 for this one, and it will go through all the features, generating a setup sheet. So here is our setup sheet, our HTML-based setup sheet. Shows you a picture of the part, your stock dimensions up here, and your tool list, your tools that are required, and it shows each feature that's being machined. There's our facing, pocketing, slotting. Here's our 3-axis roughing and our 3-axis finishing, and our boss That's a profiling operation we use there, and our hole pocketing, and then our drilling operation. So as you can see, in just a small amount of time, we were able to machine this entire part, creating all of these operations directly from the machining features. Now also we can go ahead and let's go ahead and post it out. So as you can see, we have our Haas post selected. Let's go ahead and we'll select the setup, right click and pick post. And here is our G-code file to machine this part directly from the machining features. Well, that's all for now. If you need more information about us or the products that we offer, you can reach us at www.mecsoft.com. You can also come to our website for additional tutorials and to contact us and also set up training. You can do everything right from our website. Thank you.